Hi, this is Ryan Neal from the USA offices of Neal's Saddlery and Harness, Cowboy Sewing Machines, and HighTex Sewing Machines. Today we're going to do a little bit of demonstrational video on our 733 CS. The 733 CS is the absolute giant in the heavy-duty flatbed sewing machine world. This machine will sew over 1 inch thick, and right now the sample that we have in this is 8 plies of very, very heavy and very, very wide nylon webbing. This machine is ideal if you're doing things with slings, doing heavy lifting slings, different toe straps that require multiple layers of nylon webbing sewn together and so forth. So now these machines are offered by several different manufacturers all throughout the world. We want to talk about what we believe sets our machine off from the competition. Now, I'm going to show you some parts that we've incorporated into the machine. And now these are the standard parts. This would be the part that you would find on any of the standard issue machines from some of the other manufacturers. This part is made of iron. The iron is case hardened around the race area where the hook travels in. But the problem that we've found with these parts, number one, they're not very smooth. Number two, they have a tendency to flake some of this iron off because they're not as hard as we would like them to be. So what happens is when you lubricate this hook area or when you lubricate this race area, a lot of times the oil will mix with some of the metal particles that wear off over hours and hours and hours of use, and you end up getting a black film that develops, which then in turn transfers to your thread, causing the thread itself to get discolored and black. So these don't wear as well as the other options that we've devised for this type of machine. This again is the standard issue 733 hook that fits into that race that I just showed you. It's just your standard common, polished metal hook, again made of high carbon heat treated steel. Very hard, but still not as hard as the alternatives that we've developed. Also on this hook, you'll see there's only one screw that's used to adjust the tension for the bobbin. On the newer hooks that we have, we've incorporated a set screw here. This set screw that we have will allow you to hold the adjuster screw in place so you don't have to worry about the adjuster screw drifting as this hook vacillates back and forth into the race area. So the set screw that we've incorporated in our new design works much, much better. Now I'm going to show you our newly redesigned hook that we have here, and you'll see a small hole. Hidden inside that hole is the set screw that we use to hold and secure the actual tension adjusting screw. So now you have no chance that this screw could drift as the hook is oscillating back and forth in the race mechanism. There's no chance that this screw can drift, causing a decrease in tension. So that's one of the main features of this hook that represent a great improvement over the other manufacturers of this type of machine. The second thing that we've done is we've taken a coating, a nanopolymer coating. It's referred to as DLC, which is diamond-like carbon coating. This coating has a very similar hardness to diamond, and so as a result, it is a very wear-resistant coating because it's so hard. Secondly, it offers performs similarly to a Teflon in the sense that it's very, very smooth and very, very resistant to friction. So what we find is that running hooks like this allow the machine to run much quieter and much more efficiently, and we also have a much greater reduced incidence of the thread being discolored by the oil mixing with wearing metal parts, because again, with these parts being so hard, the coating takes years and years and years to wear off. So I'm going to show you also what we've done with our newly designed race. So this is the shuttle race, the newly designed race that we're installing in the 733s. Now, this race is made of heat-treated high-carbon steel. The other race, which is this one over here, is simply made of heat-treated cast iron. The high-carbon heat-treated steel is much, much harder than the cast iron, and so then that provides an additional element of wear resistance. But in addition to that, we've also coated it with this race, the entire race, front and back, with the DLC coating, the diamond-like carbon coating. So what that allows for is a much smoother race in terms of how the hook moves back and forth in the race. It offers a very hard coating, which will take years and years to wear off. And it also reduces the friction that the hook experiences. Many people that run these machines at very high RPM have ran into the problem where they have too much heat that builds up in this hook. And so this diamond-like carbon coating reduces that friction immensely. And so then you're able to use, number one, less lubrication than what you normally would on a standard hook and shuttle race setup. And number two, you don't have the issue with excessive wear. So I'm going to give you guys a quick demonstrational video on our 733. Just give me a second to get into position. Now, we're using our 750SH servo motor on this machine, which, believe it or not, is not the most powerful motor that we have. We actually have a 1000 SH variant of this motor, and we're working on some other higher wattage variations. But I want to show you guys how very easily that even our 750 motor can run this machine. And again, this is the largest flatbed sewing machine that's commercially available in the world at the moment in terms of how heavy it will sew. And of course, you guys can see how large this flywheel is. This is a heavyweight machine designed to sew through incredibly heavyweight material. So now I'm just going to give you a quick demo on how this machine performs. I'm going to go easy on the gas at first so you can see how things are going. Now I'm going to increase speed, and we're going to shake and bake down the side of this piece. So you can see the stitch quality. I'll have our camera move over here. You can see our stitch quality is very good. One of the beautiful things about this machine is it's capable of laying down an incredibly long stitch. So we went through 8 layers of this super heavyweight nylon webbing, and you can see how well the machine performed. And also the sound of the machine is much more reduced over what you would have on a standard 733 without these DLC parts. So it's a more quieter, more efficient design because of that. So we're really happy with the new innovations that we've come up with here at Cowboy for this 733 machine. If you have any additional questions on the 733, please feel free to call me directly. My name again is Ryan Neal from the USA offices of Neal Saddlery and Harness, Cowboy Sewing Machines, and HighTex Sewing Machines. You can reach me at area code 330-692-1418, and I do thank you for your time today.